I have great learning for myself. I would have just said, tomorrow let me do, tomorrow let me go to the temple. Later I will get into spirituality. After retirement I will get into spirituality. This is how I would have been pushing it again. No chet Krishna padaravinda bhajanam vedanta chintamapi tyaktva shvashva iti bhramadahamaho yamyeva yamyam purim. Shvashva means tomorrow, tomorrow. I would have kept on postponing it. This Vedanta Chinta and Krishna Bhakti, they would have never entered me. I have studied so many Shastras. So he had studied 4-5 Shastras in extreme depth, and we can see that depth in this Grantha of Sriman Narayaniya. He says, with that Brahma, with that kind of an illusion and that pride that I had, I would have just said this Vedanta can come later, and I would have kept on postponing it. And I would have directly reached Yamapuri. I would have gone to death thinking of this itself, but I would never have done Krishna Bhakti at all. I would have only been going within this Pandita circles and doing this. But this affliction, the disease that I had, it gave me a direction in my life, and that is why I was able to compose the Sriman Narayani. That is the kind of bhakti we need towards Bhagavan or towards difficulties that come in our life also. When we are able to turn those difficulties into stepping stones towards bhakti for Bhagavan, they grant great shanti. What we are hankering after in life is that kind of shanti. What we want is peace, nothing else. Whether we earn money, whether we earn fame, whether it is great possessions, whatever we have, what we are going after is just shanti and ananda. If we are happy and peaceful, this is more than enough. For this happiness and peace, we turn here and there, we try to get so many things. And this direction was given by this roga, by the disease. So why not give one namaskara to that disease? That is how Bhattatri changes his perspective. This is how Kunti also in Srimad Bhagavatam, when she praises Bhagavan, she says, Vipadas santuna shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhavadarshanam. Meaning, she has a very unique prarthana to Bhagavan. Krishna is standing in front of her. Kunti, who is Krishna's aunt, father's sister, she says, O Krishna, may we always have difficulties in life. This is what I ask you of you. Shashwat. Shashwat means always, every now and then. If one difficulty goes away, I should get some other problem. It is a reverse prarthana she is asking. Tatra tatra jagadguru. Oh Jagadguru Shri Krishna, I should have it every now and then. Why? Because wherever in Mahabharata Pandavas are in distress, Krishna appears there. He comes there to remove their distress. So she says, Bhavato darshanam yatsyat. I will be able to have your darshana. That is what I want. What I want is your darshana. Whether it happens through sukha or dukkha, I don't mind. But it seems to be happening only through dukkha. Only when we are in problem, you come and give us darshana. So the more darshana we have, the greater joy it is for us. So I don't care whether I am getting difficulties or not. May it always be there, so that you keep coming and visiting us. The more we see you, apunar bhavadarshanam. We are no more going to see this bhava, samsara. We are not, once we have had your darshana, we are not going to see the samsara again. Isn't that the goal of life? That is more than enough for me. That is how Bhattatri also prays here. He began every dashakam at the end. What does he ask for? Rundhi rogane, nirundhi rogane, nashaya rogane. This is how he keeps on repeating at the end of every dashakam. The whole of Narayaniam is split into dashakams for those who are new. There are 1000 verses on the whole, 1034, and there are 100 dashakams. Dashakam means a chapter of 10. So usually there are 10 verses. Some chapters have a little more, and that is how we get the total count of about 1034 verses. So each dashakam at the end that will deal about a particular topic. At the final verse he says, he prays to Guru Ayappa and he says, please remove all these diseases that are there in my body. That is what I want. And that is why it is very personal to us also. When we go to Bhagavan, what do we ask? Oh, please remove this, remove that. We want to ask something to Bhagavan, we just don't know how to put it in terms of words. Bhattatri has given us beautiful verses to directly ask Bhagavan, you please do this. And the other beauty in Narayaniam is he is directly speaking to Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavatam also, where Shukabrahma is reciting, he recites in third person. That Krishna took an avatara, he did so many leelas, and all those leelas are told in great detail. Here Bhattatri is not speaking to somebody else. He is speaking directly to Guru Vayurappan in front of him. So he says, didn't you come down as Krishna? Didn't you take Rama avatara? Didn't you take Narasimha avatara? Didn't you do this? Weren't you this? So it is a direct conversation with Bhagavan. That is why the Samskrita is also different. It is beautiful in the sense it is always Madhyama Purusha. You are directly speaking to him. And when we read the Grantha also, we find the same connection. We find, aren't I speaking to my Ishta Devata in front of me? How beautiful. I am able to get that connect of bhakti. What is bhakti? It is an attachment to Bhagavan. I need to build that attachment within me. And this Grantha gives us that personal touch to build that attachment with my Ishta Devata. That beautiful form in front of me, it gives me that beauty to build it. And the whole Grantha is filled with Ananda. Bhagavatam talks of the Satya Swarupa of Bhagavan. It means he is the eternal truth. And therefore it keeps talking about that. But that Paramatma is Satchidananda. You would all heard this. He is Satya. He is also Ananda. He is that immense bliss that is there. So Bhattatri, he says, I will give you bliss only. Let us keep the truth part aside, that is there. But what we want is that eternal bliss. We want immense bliss, don't we? So from the beginning till the end, he begins as Sandra Ananda. And till the end, he continues in the same Ananda only. There is nothing else he wants. So I will just share to show you how, where and all he uses Ananda. I hope you are able to see the screen also. So the first verse begins as Sandra Ananda Avabodha. This Ananda means immense bliss. Sandra means something that is dense. Bliss, he is not able to put it in words. So he says it is such a concentrated, dense kind of bliss. That is just so much Ananda within me. That is the Swarupa of Paramatma also. And that Paramatma, which is being talked about in all the Vedas and Upanishads, it is very difficult to understand. But here in front of me, that bliss has taken a concrete form and it is there as Guru Vayurappan. What more do I want? It is there as Balakrishna. And every avatara that he talks about, that Balakrishna is giving him darshana in all those various forms. Varaha avatara, Kurma avatara, Matsya avatara. Every avatara, those leelas are happening in front of his eyes. And that is the Ananda that he is getting. That is why everywhere I just quoted a few places where the word Ananda comes. Whenever he talks about Ananda, it is Paramananda or Sandrananda. Meaning it is the greatest of bliss or it is the densest of bliss. Those who have read a few Dashakams, you might find some of these phrases familiar. Even at the beginning of Krishna Avatara, he says, Ananda Rupa Bhagavan Ayite Avatare or Sandrananda Tano Hare Nanupura and so on. So everywhere when he looks at Bhagavan, he is immersed in that bliss. That is the goal of Sriman Narayani. The goal of Narayani when we read the Grantha is to be immersed in bliss. This is what we have to have in our mind. When we picture Bhagavan in front of us and seat him in our heart, what we should experience is this bliss. If we have that Paramananda, the goal of Narayani is attained. And hence he finishes the final verse as Paramananda Sandoha Lakshmi. This Lakshmi that I am getting from this is Paramananda. This is what I want. So from the beginning to the end, the whole thing is filled with that Ananda only, as we see. Similarly, the Narayaniam, Bhattatri is a great poet. He is a wonderful poet. There is an anecdote that I will say. I will just stop the share so that you concentrate on the anecdote. There was a king during Bhattatri's time. There was a king in Kerala. He had this practice of listening to Mahabharata every day before having lunch. So some Brahmana used to come and read that Mahabharata, a few chapters or a few verses, and after listening to that, he would have his lunch, after giving bhojana to the Brahmana also. So one day it so happened that regular Brahmana was not available. He had some suddenly emergency, he could not come. So the king sent his guard to the close by temple and he said, if there is somebody who can add letters together and read, please bring him. So in Tamil it is usually called Kuti Vasika Terinja. Kuti Vasikarada means you just put letters together and you read. So if at all there exists some person who knows to read Samskrita, who can put Devanagari Aksharas together and read, just bring that Brahmana from the temple. So this person, this god goes, he finds that Brahmana, he brings him. He tells the same thing, Kuti Vasika Terinja, you should come. And this Brahmana arrives. The Raja, he knows this Mahabharata very well because he has been listening. Every day he has been listening. So he is very familiar with all the verses. This day this Brahmana comes and the portion to be read that day is in Karna Parva. Karna is fighting from the side of, in the war of Mahabharata, and this side Bhima is fighting. When Bhima is fighting, the whole of the Kaurava army is extremely scared and they are running away from him. So this is the portion that is coming in the chapter, and this Brahmana goes on reading. And in between he reads a verse. Bhima Sena Bhayatrastha Duryodhana Varuthini Shikha Kharvataka Seva Karnamulamupagata. A simple Anushtup verse, he reads it like this. As soon as he reads it, the king says, no, stop. I have never heard this verse before. It is not there in Mahabharata. So why are you reciting this verse? Then Bhattatri is the Brahmana who has come there. He said, you only said we have to add something and recite. So I am just adding to the flavor here and I am reciting. So the beauty of that verse is Bhimasena Bhayatrasta. Being scared of Bhimasena's power, Duryodhana Varuthini. Varuthini means the army. The army of Duryodhana, being scared of Bhima, they all rushed towards Karna for protection. Karnamula Mupagata. They all went. The beauty lies in the simile that he gives there. Shikha Kharvataka Seva. Shikha means the hair that is there. Kharvata means one who is bald. For people who are bald, the balding starts in the middle and the hair goes towards the ears. That is how baldness usually appears. So the hairs always go towards the ears. The word Karna, he is using it in Shlesha Alankara. Karna refers to that Karna, the warrior. It also refers to the ears. Just like the hairs of a bald person go towards the ears, similarly the whole army of Duryodhana went towards Karna. Karnamula Mupagata. So this kind of Shlesha Alankara is the greatness of Bhattat. While he is reading, he just composed it on the fly. That is the kind of ingenuity and poetic skill that Bhattatri had. And that poetic skill is very evident all through Sriman Narayana. We can see this here and there. Some of the things we will see now, I will also share the slide to show you some beauty in this. We will come back to this slide later. So we can see various chandas in Narayaniam. There are about 26 chandas. Chandas means the meters that are used. He uses 26 different meters across the whole poem, and it is just a table. Anyway, we can go through it later. We will come to this. In Alankara is a way you decorate your poetry. Okay. So there is a particular Alankara called as Arthantaranyasa. There is a very nice Alankara because when you are telling a story, you also want to get some morals or some lessons out of the story. So when you are reciting a specific story and in the last line or a single line, you are able to give a moral or a teaching out of that, that is called as Arthantaranyasa Alankara. Okay. Here, we will just see a few examples from various parts in Narayana. So the first verse is from Dhruva Charitra. It is in the 17th. There he is describing where Dhruva is climbing onto his father's lap. Anke pitus suruchi putrakam tam drishtva dhruva kila suniti suto dhirokshyanne achikshipe kila shishus sutaram suruchya dussantyaja khalu bhavad vimukhai jasuya. What does Dhruva do? He sees his father Uttanapada sitting on the throne and he wants to climb onto his father's lap. While he is in this process, his stepmother, Suruchi, comes and scolds him, says, "You can't sit here. You are not born of my womb. Therefore, you have no rights. You do not have an adhikara to sit on your father's lap." She comes and scolds him. Looking at this stone-hearted Suruchi, Bhattatri makes a comment. He makes a comment, "Dussantyaja khalu bhavad vimukhai rasuya." O Bhagavan, O Guruvayurappa, those who have no devotion towards you, for them, giving up these inner enemies like jealousy, it is extremely difficult. Why is she doing this? She is doing this out of jealousy. Because that young boy, he is just 5 years old. She feels that he will take the position of her son Uttama. This is that jealousy even towards a young boy. To show that people who do not have devotion to Bhagavan, this kind of jealousy is very common in them. But if you want to get rid of such inner enemies like Kama, Krodha, Asuya, etc., then it is better to give your heart to Bhagavan. He says, "Dussantyaja khalu bhavad vimukhai rasuya." Similarly, in the 26th Dashakam of Gajendra Moksham, so there, Gajendra, as we know the story, he enters the pond and his leg is caught hold of by this crocodile. And the crocodile, both of them are fighting for a long time. The elephant tries to remove its leg, the crocodile is not leaving, and this fight goes on and on for a long time. And there, why does this fight go on? There, Bhattatri brings in his Arthantaranyasa again. He says, "Huhustavat devalasya pishapat grahi bhutas shantyartham hi shranti dosi swakanam." That Gajendra is your devotee. In the previous Janma, he was the devotee called as Indradyumna. And in this Janma, he is the Gaja. But why did you have to give him such a great difficulty that for years together he had to fight against the crocodile to remove his leg? What kind of difficulty is this? You are giving him this small problem so that you can give him everlasting peace. Shranti daha, the word means that you are giving him some tiredness, some problem, some difficulties, so that you can give him shanti. Shantyartham hi shranti dosi. For who? Swakanam. For the people who are close to you, you are doing this. So that they turn themselves towards you and they completely surrender to you. Why is that Gajendra fighting against that crocodile? Because of that ahankara, that pride which is there, saying, my own strength is enough for me to get out of this. That crocodile is the samsara which is holding on to us. What do we think? We can solve all the problems. I will get through this, whatever problem comes. And it keeps on saying, I will do it with my power. Then all the family members also help it. So much ahankara, the power that you don't want to give up. So that ahankara nasha should happen. Till then the shranti will keep happening. Problems will keep emerging. When you say, these problems cannot be overcome, I surrender my ahankara to you, Bhagavan. It is not surrendering. What do you mean by surrendering yourself? Surrendering your pride to his feet and saying, you take care of this problem. It is no more my problem. Then he will give you shanti. Shantyartham hi shranti dosi swakanam, says Bhattatri. Similarly, in the Krishna Avatara, for marrying Satyabhama, Krishna starts this Yamantakamani Upakhyana. There, what happened is, Krishna asked for Yamantakamani from Satrajit. Satrajit said, no, I cannot give it as private property, I will not give it to the government. Then he gave it to his brother and that money got lost somewhere. Then he started blaming Krishna, that Krishna is the one who stole this money because he had asked it previously. This was just a rumor that began. One small rumor, then everybody in Dwaraka started saying the same thing. Krishna is the person who stole. He has great experience stealing. From a very young age, he has been known to steal butter, and now he has promoted himself to stealing this kind of money. This is the kind of rumor that started spreading out. Shasham Satrajit Giramanu Janastvam Maniharam. Giram means words. Satrajit just said that probably Krishna stole it. Everybody caught on to that, all the people, the public caught on to that. They all said Krishna is the stealer, he is the thief. Why? Bhattatri gives an Arthantaranyasa there. Jananam piyusham bhavati gudinam doshakanika. For the layman, for the general populace, it is they feel very happy when a small fault is found in a person who is usually spotless in character. If that person has a very good fame and he is known to be a very nice person and he in general has a very good standing in the society, what you want to do is find one small fault in him and say this is the fault, this is the fault, and keep on making that bigger and bigger and bigger. That Bhatta treats it in such a way. For the layman, finding that small fault in a person who is a guni, who is filled with so many good qualities, for them it is like nectar. As if they have found a great nectar on a very white cloth. If there is a small black dot, that is where our attention will go to. The whole cloth might be excellent, but the small, and here there is not even a dot. Krishna did not steal it, and he is going to prove that he was in no way involved. But till this day, in the Ashtottara Shatanamavali of Krishna, we say Shyamantakamanir Hartre Namaha. That is the name, a nama we have given to him. That is what the general populace is capable of. This is what we have to understand. That a normal person, when you put a rumor, even a rumor can grow into such a big dishonor or disfame. Jananam piyusham bhavati guninam doshakanika. A small doshaka could become like such a big thing. That is beauty that Bhattatri gives that. Like this, there are various arthantaranyasas across the Bible. Just picked out 3 here. There are far many more. Who like to like poetry, this is an excellent way. Also, there is Shabda Alankara. Shabda means just the words. Putting the right kind of words in the right places is called as Shabda Alankara. Okay. In the whole of Muni Kalyana, 879 is where Rukmini and Krishna's marriage is explained. There, all the last phrases, the final quarter of the shloka, he uses a means you just read a couple of phrases. Prajagaya dhritarasa tarasa prananamasa. So you see, the same 3 letters are used in Prajagade. As you can see, the first underlined, Jagade is there. Okay. But both are part, they mean different things. Prajagade, one who is the Lord of the whole world. Okay. Similarly, all the letters in these 2, that why he used this Yamaka here is to say that the husband and wife, they come together. They as if they are the same. They Sarasat, different words. They belong different meanings, differently, same kind of personality, and they act as one unit. They are not 2 different things. To show that across the whole of the 2 dashakas, he would have brought this out. Navapuram Vapuranchita Rochisha, and so on. So the whole, all the 20 verses are in the same manner, where the final phrase has this Yamaka. That is again a beauty in Shabda Alankara. Similarly, he has a lot of alliterations throughout the whole Grantha. Alliterations are there across in poetry everywhere. I just bring out this alliteration to show how he uses even emotion. When you read that, you know there is some emotion there, whether you know it or not. Ha ha means adada. Okay. Why is this? Oh, alas. Ha ha vibho jalamaham yapibam purastat. Then he bringing who is the name of that Gandharva. So who stavat. And when talking about the gopis and Yashoda, he says hamho dhanyo nunando nahi nahi pashupalanganano Yashoda. A great fortune that Krishna was there in Nanda Gokula, and he's talking about what great fortune. That hamho means, oh, what great fortune. Just that exclamation that comes from within. And he is also an explanation to a negative exclamation. Why does this happen? Oh, alas, kind of exclamation is he. He me deha mohan tyaja. That final verse. So in every dashaka, he kept on doing the prarthana, remove my affliction, remove my affliction. all these diseases. This final line that I have given comes in the final Dashakas, 93, 94 there. There he says, till now I have been asking you, O Guru Ayappa, to remove my physical diseases. Now I think my body itself is a disease. The problem is my attachment to thinking that I am the body. So what you should do is you should remove the body itself. Remove my attachment with the body, you remove. Hi me deha moham jaja pavanapura dhisha yat prema hetoho dehe putre kalatra dishuja vivashitaha tvatpadam vismaranti. We forget your feet because we are attached to all these things. So remove my attachment, keep my attachment only in you. May I continue to stay in the world and do my responsibilities. And then in the next verse he says, after this he me deha moham, he says, maybe removing attachment to body is not possible because I am so closely attached to this body, I think that I am this body only. Therefore, what you do is, if it is so difficult to remove the attachment to the body, let it be. Give me bhakti to your feet. That is more than enough. With that bhakti itself, I will increase. That devotion is enough. That devotion to your feet is what I need. That durvaro deha mohaha यदि पुनरधुना तर्हि निशेषरोगान् हृत्वा भक्तिं दृढिष्ठां कुरु तव पदपङ्केरुहे पंकजाक्ष. You just remove all these rogas and give me bhakti. Why should you remove rogas? So that I can do bhakti. Only then I can do pradakshina of your temple. I can sing well. I can do archana for you. Now I am not even able to lift my hands or walk. How will I completely surrender my body to you? Only if you remove the rogas, I can do that. Therefore, remove my rogas. So now he changes. He says, remove my rogas so that I can do bhakti to you. That is the personal connect that he has with Bhagavan there. Now, we'll come to his precise writing. But at the whole 18,000 verses, he has compressed into 1,000 verses. It requires immense vision and the way you have to put words together. We'll just see an example from Srimad Ramayana. He does not just compress the Ramayana from the Bhagavatam. He compresses the whole of Valmiki Ramayana in 20 verses. That is the task he has taken up. Okay. So we know in Valmiki Ramayana there are 7 kandas and he has compressed that in 20 verses here. So approximately we should have about 2 to 3 verses per kandam. But for Sundara Kandam, which is quite a voluminous kandam, a part of Ramayana, he does not even use the whole of the verse. He uses just 3/4 of a verse. It begins as Twadvarta Karna Nodyad Gurudurjava Sampati Vakya. That's how it begins. So this chandas is called as Sragdhara. In the Sragdhara meter, for a quarter we have 21 letters. So the whole verse has about 84 syllables. In the first quarter, we leave out the first few syllables. Only the final 5 syllables we take. Okay. So 16 syllables we leave out. Starting from the 5 syllables, and then the next 63 syllables we put together, we get 68 syllables in total. In Sundarakanda, there are 68 sargas in Srimad Ramayana. He likes to bring in such coincidences between both. So the 68 chapters in Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, he has compressed in just 68 syllables in this verse. So we'll just read those 68 syllables and see how he has compressed the whole thing. Sampati vakya protirnarno dhirantar nagari janakajam vikshyadattvanguliyam prakshudyodyanamakshakshapana chanarana sodhabandho dashasyam drishtva pluštva chalankan jhatiti sahanuman mauliratnam dadaute. So what did Hanuman do? He jumped over the sea having listened to Sampati's vakya. Sampati was the vulture sitting there who said, you go to Lanka, you jump across this. So he jumped over the whole Arnodhi, mean the whole ocean. He went there. Inside Lanka, Antarnagari, Janakajam Vikshya, he saw Sita. What did he do there? He gave the Anguli, Rama's ring, he gave it to Sita. And then he destroyed the whole of the Ashokavana, Prakshudya Udyanam. And he gained great fame by vanquishing Aksha. Aksha Kumara was the son of Ravana, against whom he fought the battle and destroyed Aksha. Aksha Kshapana Chanaranaha. He bore that bondage that came because of Brahmastra of Indrajit. Sodabandhaha Dashasyam Drishtva. He saw Ravana, spoke to Ravana, and then Lankam cha Plushtva. He burnt the whole of the Lanka, and immediately he returned back to Rama here. That is so quickly he returned back. Because Sundarakanda, the whole thing happened in just 1.5 days. And also Rama is waiting here for news of Sita. Therefore, Bhattatri just compresses the whole thing to show that Hanuman did this so quickly and immediately returned to Rama. So, Jaditisa Hanuman Mauliratram. Immediately he came back with Chudamani and he gave it to you. Dadaute. He gave it to you, O Sri Rama. That is to show the quickness of Hanuman, to show the 68 sargas in Ramayana, and to show that Rama is waiting for that Mauli Ratna. He puts this so quickly in just 3/4 of a verse. That is the efficiency, how Bhattatri uses that. Okay. Now we will go to the next aspect of Bhattatri. We saw that his Achyuta Pisharadi. Achyuta Pisharadi comes in a great lineage of mathematicians of the Kerala school. It began with Nilakantha and then Jyeshtadeva and so on, great lineage of mathematicians. So he also had very good knowledge of astronomy. He shows that here in this verse where Krishna is born. We all know that Krishna was born on Ashadha Krishna Ashtami. Rohini Nakshatra is well known. Here he does not mention the Tithi, he does not mention the Nakshatra, nor does he mention the Ritu. But just by using one single line, he tries to put all those things in perspective. Only if you know a little bit of astronomy, you will be able to understand. He says, Asha Sushitalatara Supayodato Yehi Asha Setapti Vivasheshu Jasajjaneshu. He says all the sides are covered with dark clouds and it has become very pleasant. So after the summer comes the monsoon. So when you say all the sides are covered with clouds, immediately you know the Ritu is Varsha Ritu. And the Sajjanas are all very happy, meaning some time has passed in the Varsha Ritu, so it is the second month of Varsha Ritu. So it is Ashadha Masa. Now comes the beauty, Naishakarodaya Vidhu Nishi Madhyamayam. The Nishakara means the moon is rising at midnight. That's all he says. At that time you came. Tvam iha avirasihi. You took the avatara when the moon was rising at midnight. The moon will rise at midnight only on the Krishna Paksha Ashtami. On Paurnami, the moon rises when the sun is setting. On Amavasya, the moon and sun rise together. Only at the middle, exactly at midnight, if the moon is rising, that means it is Ashtami. In Shukla Paksha Ashtami, the moon will rise at midday. In the mid-noon, it will rise. So if it has to rise at midnight, then it can be only Krishna Paksha Ashtami. So it is Ashadha Masa, it is Krishna Paksha, it is Ashtami Tithi, and that Tithi corresponds only to Rohini Nakshatra. Understanding this, he says, Naishakarodaya Vidhau Nishi Madhyamayam. So you should have some background of Panchanga or simple astronomy. It is not very complicated, but at least that much you should know to understand this beauty, where he embeds that kind of knowledge within the verse itself. Klesha upahastri jagatam tvamiha virasihi. That is his knowledge of. Similarly, the same mathematics, when he completes the poem, he says, Ayur Arogya Saukhyam. May this Krishna, this Guruvayurappa, may he grant all the readers of this Grantha and the Upasakas of the Grantha, may he grant Ayur Arogya Saukhyam. Using the Katapayadi Sankhya, Katapaya, these are given the number 1, and in the whole Devanagari, you can go on giving the numbers to the other one. Ka is 1, Ka is 2, Ga is 3, Ga 4, Nga 5, and so on. When you put the numbers, each letter is assigned a certain number. When you map those numbers to this Ayurarogya Saukhyam, you get the date of composition, the completion of this Grantha. And it is called as Kalyahargana. In the Kali Yuga, on the day it was completed, that date is given by Bhattatri himself in his composition with the words Ayurarogya Saukhyam. Whenever we write down this Katapayadi, we always read it from right to left. Ankanam Vamato Gatihi is the sutra in Samskrita. So we read it from right to left. As you can see in the slide, the numbers are neatly mapped. And on the 1,71,220th day of Kali Yuga, he completes this Grantha. That the scholars say it corresponds to the 27th of November 1587. And nowadays it is celebrated around the 13th or 14th of December. Due to the Earth's precession, the date moves. And after 450 years now, we are celebrating it in the middle of December currently. That is the day on which Bhattatri has completed this verse. So, Spitam Leelavatarihi Idamiha Kurutam Ayurarogya Saukhyam. May this Grantha of Sriman Narayaniyam, may it grant us that Ayurarogya Saukhyam, both the internal one and the external one, may it grant us great life, great health, and immense bliss. That Saukhya from Sandrananda, what comes is that bliss that Guru Ayappan grants us. May all the Upasakas of this Grantha also get that kind of bliss. We pray to Bhagavan, and we finish these couple of words here. Now we can open it up to any Q&A if we have any.
So happy to see this beauty of Narayaniyam. Thank you so much, Shankarama. So we can have few questions. So I know all of you are muted. You can raise your
Maybe
hand.
they can raise their hands.
Yes, yes,
Call
yes.
out the people based on the
Okay.
raise. Yeah. Shushma?
Sushma Garu, okay.
Namaskaram, Shankar
Namaste.
Sharma garu. It was a very great session. This is the first time I'm hearing about Narayaniyam, so it gave me immense pleasure actually. What is the best way that we can? I mean, I don't know. I want to read. I want to understand more about Narayaniyam. What is the best way that I can explore this wonderful poem
So any
Kavyam?
Grantha in our tradition, we begin with the chanting, learning to chant the Grantha. I hear that a lot of teachers here also teaching, and that is how Venkat Mahodaya has said. I have taught this Grantha through Vyoma Samskrita Patashala for about 3.5 years. Just the chanting, we learned the whole of the 1000 verses. And all the recordings where we, by pada, step by step, we learned to chant. All the recordings are available on YouTube and are on portal sanskritfromhome.org. Maybe I can just show that also. It is available. So those who are willing to learn, you can learn like that. Many people I hear in Austin also, there are teachers who are teaching that. You can use these videos as a reference to learn that. It is available on YouTube and on our portal on sanskritfromhome.org. So you can use that as a reference, and good publications are available. For little advanced students who want to learn the Samskrita, the grammar aspects also of Sriman Narayaniyam, we at Vyoma are bringing out a publication where we have the English meaning, the word by word English meaning, along with all the grammatical aspects of Sriman Narayaniyam also. We are bringing out one volume, the first quarter, 25 Dashakams we have published, and every year we plan to publish more. So this is the Vyoma part of it, where Narayaniyam. So the website is sanskritfromhome.org. Those who are interested, you can, a couple of courses I have there. The Learn to Chant Sriman Narayaniyam course, and there were about 4,500 people have registered, and they are learning that. The meaning also was explained in English. Every Dashakam, we saw the meaning in detail. So all the verses, about 30 to 40 lectures are present there, the discourse sessions. Similar to, now we just saw it in about 40 minutes. In detail, we have the meanings of all the verses. So we can go there and learn about it. Yes.
Thank you, Sushmaji. So just to add on, we have this Narayaniyam classes online also from our Karisiddhi Hanuman Temple, Dallas. So Ravi Bogaram Garu teaches. In fact, many of the people online are already part of the class. And then I just wanted to show the book that Shankarama was referring. This is the Narayaniyam. It's only 25 dashakas. It's such a huge book that has all the pratipadartha, pada samskara, and anvaya, and meanings. All of that is there for the 25. So if anyone wants to have a look at it, I have it here in Austin. Then I will try to send one to Dallas also through someone. Thank you.
The same book, for those who want an e-book, is also available online on digitalsanskrit.com. If you want to see, so it is available right here as an e-book. So you can get immediate access also on digitalsanskrit.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other question?
Jay Gudatta, how do we get the physical book?
Physical book, some copies are available with Venkat Mahodaya at Austin. we are planning
Yeah.
to ship to
Yeah.
some
So the
books.
only
So
one.
whenever we ship, we can get in contact with you and we will let you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in India, where is it available?
Oh, in India, you can order it through Vyoma. You can contact the Vyoma's number, or you can even there is a website. I will put it here: Digital Sanskrit Guru.
Yeah, just you can put that in the chat if somebody.
I will put all these three
Put the
website
links, whatever links that you are
links in the
sharing.
chat so
Yeah,
that
that
you
you
will
can
get it.
use.
Yes,
Yeah.
that should.
Thank you.
I will put it in the chat. It will make it simpler for you. You can order
Okay.
in India. It is orderable everywhere in India. It ships.
So Monica Verma.
Any
Namaskar. Thank you so
other
much
books
for.
for the meanings suggested?
For the meanings, yeah, Ramakrishna Mat, I think Swami Tapasyananda has a very good translation. The translation in English that I refer to is by Chinmaya Mission. S.N. Shastri has a very good translation in English with word by word meaning. So these
Oh,
are two very good ones. Swami Tapasyananda also has some information about the author and about the Grantha in the front and back. It's a Ramakrishna Mission publication.
uh-huh.
And Chinmaya Mission publication has it by S.N. Shastri, who has given some nice notes also there. Both those are English translations. They are very good, authentic, nice translations. So
Thank
those
you
two
so
are
much.
something I recommend. Yeah, I'm
Thank you
sure
so
I
much.
saw those S.N. Shastri book in some Chinmaya missions also. In all places here across the US, there are Chinmaya missions. I'm sure if you go there, you will get a copy of that book.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Jai
Yeah.
Gurutta.
Very good.
Yeah, Monica ji had a question. You want to ask?
Yes, thank you so much for this class, and thank you to Gita, Vijay, and Akka that she told about this class for today. I have a question about when and like when we are sick, we have to chant that, or it's just like precautionary, we can chant it
Oh, you
anytime,
can. You
like the
should
Prabhu
always
said.
chant it. When sick is a excuse to chant it. It is a motivation to chant it. When you are sick,
Okay.
you should surely chant it, and when you are healthy, you should chant it even more. Yeah.
Is there any particular shloka or any particular dashakam that we have to chant?
For people who
Or
want to be, if there is somebody very sick or you want to chant for them, there is a particular shloka, the 13th verse in the 8th Dashakam is
Asmin Paratman.
well known. It's the meaning. Idrik Jagan, no. What is the
Asmin Paratman?
Asmin Paratman, correct. Asmin Paratman nanu Padmakalpe Twamitha Muttapita
Tomittamutta.
Padmayonihi Ananta Bhuma Mamaro Garashim Nirundhi Vatalaya Vasa Vishnu. By the elders in the Sampradaya, this is given as the verse to be chanted, repeated as a japa. You can chant it saying 108 times, 1008 times. You can keep a count for yourself and chant if there is somebody to be relieved from a roga. But the whole Grantha, any Dashaka, it gives that effect. But this particular for japa, it is very useful, this particular verse. The
13th
13th verse in
verse.
the 8th Dashaka,
Eighth Dashakam.
8.13.
Any other
And thank you
question?
very
Thank you
much,
very
sir.
much.
I think all my students have really benefited from this talk, especially the Shabda Alankaram and, the Artha Alankaram, which I usually don't talk about. I
That is
just
just
focus on the meaning and
a small this thing that I have showed. It is a
yeah,
huge sagara that Bhattatari has.
yes.
This thing. Yes.
Yeah. So to appreciate,
Yeah,
I think like
thank you.
knowing Sanskritam will be very, very helpful.
Correct.
Right?
Knowing Sanskritam, to appreciate, to understand the depth of the verses, is Sanskritam will give you that. Again, there are so many resources to learn Sanskritam. I encourage all of you to learn that Sanskritam. In Yoma also, I see a lot of people here also who are teaching Sanskritam. So go somewhere, catch hold of somebody and learn Sanskrit.
Yeah. So the links that you have sent has the classes for Sanskritam also.
Correct. The sanskritfromhome.org link that I have sent, it has free courses for Sanskritam from a very basic level. The digitalsanskrit.com is also an OTT offering, which has interactional and multimedia content for Sanskritam. So we welcome you all to explore these websites and give us feedback.
So any other questions?
That is
Uh,
interesting. Ah,
Jai Gurutta, definitely a wonderful session. A nice overview overall on Narayaniyam. Thank you so much. And thank you for the suggesting meaning books. Thank you so much. Yeah, and also one small question, one more question, if you can, like Bhagavad Gita versus Narayaniam chanting. Any insights on that?
There is no verses in any of this. Whatever captures our heart, we chant, and all of them are good for chanting. Bhagavad Gita is probably easier to memorize because it is 700 verses, and most of them are smaller verses. Narayaniam is all of them are bigger verses, and it is 1034 verses. Nevertheless, there are quite a few people who have memorized. Through the course that I conducted, there are about 15 people who memorized, and there are a few of them in the US also. And it is a separate, when you memorize it, is an ananda by itself, because you can chant it whenever you want. It is there in your buddhi, it is not in the book. So whether you are driving, whether you are cooking, whether you are whatever activity you are doing, you can chant it. That is the beauty of memorization. And when you memorize, at least you will know to read it very well. That is the first thing. Or else even reading becomes difficult. You will read it now, and if you don't touch the book for about 4 months or 6 months, then you will forget that you have ever read it. That is the kind of
Correct. That's true.
So that is why memorization is a recommended path in our sampradaya.
Vishwanathan garu.
Namaste, Shankar Ramanji.
Namaste.
It was really so good, very heartfelt talk. Actually, this took me almost like 4.5 decades ago, being a Sanskrit student, especially when you are talking about all the alankaras and all. It was absolutely fantastic, and thanks for showing us, a little bit of the taste of what is in it in the Narayaniya when we are already enjoying the class. So only thing I wanted to hear it from you one more time when you were talking about how efficient he was with the picking up of the words, especially when he's talking about Sundarakanda. You were saying a little bit more about the kind of shloka or whatever way it was being said with not counting the first 5 and things. If you don't mind saying it again, I would appreciate that.
That particular verse, the first part of the verse that I had put in black, belongs to the Kishkindha Kanda. The Sundara Kanda actually begins from the final 5 letters. That's all.
Okay.
Therefore, when you count the letters, those 68 letters correspond to the 68 sargas in Sundarakanda.
And what is the thing you said, just like the that particular verse is being written in what format?
No, that is the Sragdhara Chandas.
Chandas. Yeah, that's
the
what
meter
I
he has
wanted
used is
to know.
Sragdhara, which he
Sragdhara.
which he uses very frequently. He uses these long verses. Even the first dashakam, the last dashakam, all of them are in the same meter, the same chandas. So the tune is the same. It is just these first, the part in black belongs to the Kishkindha Kanda. And the part in the blue violet belongs to the Sundarakanda. So we have to start counting from there, is what I said.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for explaining that one more time for me. Thank you.
So we will probably end with this slide. This was given as a foreword to the book by my uncle. So it begins with a passion towards worldly things, which is bhukti. And we turn that passion towards Bhagavan and make bhukti as bhakti. So Paramatmani Bhagavati Bhaktihi, devotion to Ishvara. When you do that kind of a bhakti, then there comes a vairagya, which is a tyakti. You get vairagya from the worldly attachments. And because of the vairagya comes mukti, samsarat muktihi. So vishayeshu bhuktihi, paramatmani bhaktihi, bandhusneha tyaktihi, samsarat muktihi. So let us turn our bhukti into mukti. Namo namas sarvebhyaha. Ram Ram.
Namo namas sarvebhyaha.
Thank you, Shankarji. Thank you so much. Thank you for the Austin group. I'm from Atlanta. We had a good fortune of listening to Shankarji for 2 days for the complete Vedanta retreat. And nevertheless, it's this is a nectar never ending. So thank you so much, and enjoyed every word of it. And I have gone through his complete Narayaniam course from Vyoma as well. We have a local teacher. I have learned Narayaniam with God's grace. It's a wonderful grantha to Krishna will sit in your heart, and that's it. We just have to think about the first step, and as he said, he will take over after that. Thank you, Shankarji. Radhe Krishna.
Thank
Radhe
you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Shankarji.
Thank you all. Thank you,
Thank you.
Shankar Garu. Thank you, Renuka Garu, Valli Garu, Geeta Garu, and everyone who spread the message and were pleasantly surprised to have exceeded the Zoom capacity, and then we had to have the live telecast. And there also, I see about 15, 20 people joining. So in the recent times, at least my Zoom capacity never exceeded in the recent times. So
I think that's
and
the bliss of Krishna.
yes, yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jay.
And Shankarama is here in Austin for another day, and then he's going to Houston over
Tomorrow
the weekend.
evening I'm leaving to Houston.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Houston
So
over the
tomorrow
weekend.
he's going to Houston. He has a Vedanta retreat both Saturday, Sunday, and he's flying back to India on Monday. And if anyone needs any help reaching out to Shankarama or anyone from Yoma, so you can always reach out to me because I know the whole family of Yoma and of course Shankarama
Venkat
very
Mahodaya
well.
is the point of contact here.
Just that because they've guided my children also for learning Sanskritam. So primarily why I was referring Vyoma is Sanskritam right from learning the basics of writing how Devanagari script and to the highest level of Sanskritam which is Mahapariksha, Chittur Pariksha and then Sringeri Pariksha. So Vyoma teaches Sanskritam to the level right from learning ABC like A, I, E, Akshara till somebody who becomes a great scholar. So that is what I felt it was the best for learning Sanskritam. So, and both my children learned, and in fact, they are in that path. So that's why I'm very much indebted to Vyoma. Okay, thank you all. Jai Guru Datta.
If you can
Thank you very
send
much.
the details about all the sites and also about link to the book, that will be
Yeah, so
wonderful.
the three websites, the Sanskrit from home, digitalsanskrit.com.
Yes, Guru,
Digital
I have
Sanskrit
it. I have it. It's for the entire class I was requesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, that first
these
link
links.
leads to the entire class. The second link leads to the book, and the
Okay.
third links lead to the ordering of the book. So all three are,
Ordering.
yeah.
Yeah.
You click
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Jai
Thank you.
Guru Datta.
Chandy,
Thanks.
Indraganti garu
Thank
and
you.
Shankar Sharma garu.
Jai
Thank
Guru Datta, Andy.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.